Soft ambient strings blend with the sound of flowing water and birds. Some countries steal your breath. Slovenia steals your entire sense of reality. Hi, I'm Alex Vega, full-time wanderer, part-time budget magician, and this year I made it my mission to prove you can have the trip of a lifetime in Slovenia without torching your wallet. In fact, I spent less than $50 a day. I know you're thinking, Alex, that's impossible. Well, grab your hiking boots and your curiosity, because I'm taking you from emerald lakes to Alpine peaks, all while keeping my bank account intact. Day 1, Ljubljana, where green feels like a lifestyle. The moment my train rolled into Ljubljana, I felt it, this quiet, almost cinematic kind of charm. The whole city center is car-free, so instead of taxis, I grabbed a city bike for just €1 a day. I pedaled along the Ljubljanica River, passing pastel buildings, street musicians, and cafe terraces draped in flowers. Lunch, not a fancy restaurant. I went to the central market, where €5 got me a fresh veggie wrap and a homemade lemonade that tasted like sunshine in a cup. By evening, I was sitting on the Dragon Bridge watching the sky turn violet, and I realized, this city doesn't rush you. It invites you to slow down. Day 2, Lake Bled, a postcard. Come to life. Every travel blogger will tell you about Lake Bled, but they don't tell you the secret. Skip the tourist boat, rent a kayak for €7, and paddle yourself. The water looked unreal. Turquoise so bright, it felt like someone had poured liquid jewels into the lake. I climbed the bell tower on Bled Island for just €3, and the view, my friends, it was like looking into a fairy tale. Mountains like watercolor paintings, the castle on a cliff, the church bells echoing over the water. Dinner was a budget-friendly win too. A little family-run bakery where €4 bought me a slice of their famous Bled cream cake. Yes, I ate dessert before dinner. Zero regrets. Day 3, Triglav National Park, the crown jewel. If Slovenia has a heartbeat, it's in Triglav National Park. Entry is completely free, and the trails range from peaceful riverside walks to thigh-burning alpine climbs. I packed a €6 picnic from a farmer's market, rye bread, fresh goat cheese, and strawberries so sweet they could have been candy. I found a quiet spot by a roaring waterfall, and for an hour I just existed. No phone, no noise, just me, the mountains, and the knowledge that beauty like this doesn't always have to come with a price tag. Staying green and spending less. My eco-hostel in Bovec was €18 a night, and it came with free breakfast and evening campfire hangouts. Imagine swapping travel stories under a blanket of stars with people from 5 different countries. For me, that was priceless. For transport, I relied on Slovenia's buses, reliable, scenic, and never more than €10 for a cross-country ride. You don't just save money, you get a front-row seat to the rolling green landscapes and tiny villages you'd miss from a car. In just 5 days, I biked through a storybook city, paddled across a fairy-tale lake, hiked in the Julian Alps, and tasted food that felt like it was grown in heaven's own garden, all for under $50 a day. Slovenia isn't just a destination. It's proof that eco-travel can be affordable, and budget travel can still feel luxurious. So if you're planning your 2025 escape, skip the overpriced resorts. Pack light, live slow, and let Slovenia remind you what travel is really about. This is Alex Vega, signing off until the next adventure. And remember, the world is big, but your budget doesn't have to be. Slovenia, the country that's proof you don't have to empty your savings to fill your soul. Today, we're uncovering 7 eco-friendly spots that give you million-dollar views for just a handful of euros. And I'm not just listing them. I'm taking you with me moment by moment to prove it. 1. Ljubljana's car-free old town. My journey began in Ljubljana. I stepped off the bus into a city that felt like a living postcard. Pastel buildings, cobblestone streets, and a river that reflected the sky like a perfect mirror. No traffic noise, no exhaust fumes, just the hum of bicycle wheels. I joined the locals on the €1 a day bike share program, pedaling past outdoor cafes and street violinists. That ride was the cheapest city tour of my life, and somehow the most magical. Second Lake Bled at sunrise. I set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. to beat the crowds, renting a kayak for €7 instead of the pricey boat ride. Paddling toward the island church in the golden light felt like drifting through a dream. Halfway there, a swan glided up beside me, as if to say, "Welcome to my lake." I rang the church bell 3 times for luck, and maybe for another sunrise like this someday. Third Triglav National Park's waterfall trail. Entry fee, 0. Beauty level, off the charts. I followed the trail towards Slap Savica waterfall, carrying a €6 picnic from a farmer's market. When I reached the falls, the sound was so powerful it drowned out my thoughts. I sat on a mossy rock, eating fresh strawberries, thinking, this is what wealth really feels like. 4. Lake Bohinj. Just 30 minutes from Bled, Bohinj is wilder, quieter, and free of the tourist bustle. I rented a bike for €5 and circled the lake, stopping to dip my feet in water so clear I could see the pebbles. On the far side, I stumbled on a group of locals playing guitar by the shore. They waved me over, and we sang in broken English and Slovenian until sunset. 5. The Škocjan Caves. A UNESCO World Heritage Site for less than €20 entry. Inside, it felt like stepping into the Earth's lungs. Vast chambers, rushing underground rivers, and stone formations shaped over millions of years. My guide's lantern cast shadows that looked like ancient cave paintings. It was pure cinematic magic. 6th, Soča River Valley. Narrator. The Soča River isn't just blue, it's electric. I joined a €15 guided eco-walk along its banks, where the water shimmered like melted sapphires. We passed wildflower meadows and wooden suspension bridges, the air smelling faintly of pine. At one bridge, I leaned over so far to take a photo, I nearly dropped my camera. A near miss I'll laugh about forever. 7th, Velika Planina, Alpine pastures. For €8, I took the cable car up to Velika Planina, where wooden shepherd huts dotted the rolling green hills. Cows grazed lazily, their bells creating a soft music in the breeze. I bought a wedge of fresh cheese from a shepherd, €2, and ate it on a hilltop overlooking the Kamnik Alps. No fancy dining room could compete with that view. 7 spots, 7 adventures, all affordable, all unforgettable. Slovenia doesn't just prove you can travel on a budget, it proves that the richest experiences are often the simplest. For under $50 a day, you can bike through car-free cities, paddle across fairytale lakes, hike through national parks, and meet locals who treat strangers like old friends. Documentary review script. Slovenia Travel Guide 2025. Eco-adventures for under $50 a day. Slovenia, a small European nation with a heart big enough to hold mountains, lakes, and centuries of culture, all wrapped in a deep commitment to sustainability. In 2025, it has quietly become a magnet for eco-conscious travelers, and for good reason. Today, we review one of the most practical and inspiring approaches to visiting this green gem. Slovenia Travel Guide 2025, Eco-Adventures for under $50 a day. Is it really possible? Can you explore the Julian Alps, paddle Lake Bled, and stroll Ljubljana's charming streets without spending more than $50 daily? Let's take a closer look. Ljubljana, the green capital. The journey begins in Ljubljana, often called one of Europe's cleanest capitals. This city is a masterclass in sustainable urban design. Its car-free old town encourages cycling and walking, and its riverbanks double as community gathering spots. The guide recommends the city's bike share program for €1 a day, a suggestion that is both budget-friendly and deeply aligned with Slovenia's eco-values. Pair that with a market lunch for under €5, and your wallet barely feels a dent while your senses feast. Lake Bled, affordable fairy tale moments. No Slovenia travel story is complete without Lake Bled. While many visitors opt for the traditional €15 Pletna boat ride, The guide offers a smarter alternative. Renting a kayak for less than half the price. The payoff? The freedom to explore the lake at your own pace and a richer connection to the scenery. Climbing the church tower for €3 offers a panorama that could easily headline a luxury travel magazine. Yet it fits comfortably within the budget. Triglav National Park. Nature at no cost. One of Slovenia's greatest treasures is that its most stunning landscapes are free to access. Triglav National Park requires no entry fee, yet offers alpine trails, hidden waterfalls, and wildflower valleys. The guide suggests packing a €6 picnic from a farmer's market, not only reducing costs, but also supporting local growers. It's a practical tip that combines budget travel with authentic culinary experiences. Accommodation and transport. Eco-hostels in towns like Bohinj or Bohinj provide beds for as little as €18 a night, often with communal breakfasts included. The guide wisely recommends Slovenia's reliable bus network, with fares rarely exceeding €10 for cross-country trips. This approach avoids the environmental impact of car rentals and offers travelers a scenic window into rural life. The Slovenia Travel Guide 2025, Eco Adventures for under $50 a day, does more than outline an itinerary. It challenges the belief that meaningful travel must be expensive. It proves that Slovenia's beauty is not locked behind luxury hotels and high-cost tours, but is open to those who plan thoughtfully and travel responsibly. By blending affordability with eco-conscious choices, this guide positions Slovenia as a model for sustainable tourism in Europe. Closing line. For travelers seeking a destination where every euro stretches further and every step treads lighter, Slovenia in 2025 is a journey worth taking. And this guide might just be the perfect blueprint.